The weeping of an heir is laughter in disguise. Hello everyone. Today we are going to start the last chapter of biology, that is chapter number 9, Heredity and Evolution. So today we are going to start with chapter number 9, Heredity and Evolution. First of all, wherever the term heredity comes, at that time only one thing comes in our mind, like what is going to be inherent: property, assets, cars, jewelry. But here in science, these all things are irrelevant. For science, heredity word denotes inheritance of the characteristics. Let us see how. There is an old aphorism, like baguettes like. Baguettes are a kind of insects. They all look similar to one another. That is why this old aphorism is there, which tells us that all the baguettes look alike. Why is it so? What makes them alike? We will try to understand that thing in this particular chapter. Here we have to accept one thing. If you remember in 9th standard, we have defined species. At that time we told that a group of organisms which are having the most similar characters are considered as species. So here also the same thing is given. All the members of a species show close resemblance in some basic characters. That means, suppose we are talking about human beings, right? So all the human beings are having similar features. They all have 2 hands, 2 legs, nose, eyes, ears. These are the basic characters which are similar amongst them. We will find changes in the same character. Say for example, all of us are not having the same size of the nose, or our eye color is not similar. Hair, that is also not similar. So these things are known as variations. In this particular chapter, we will discuss about heredity, how exactly the characters are transmitted from one generation to another, and the variations amongst those characters, how exactly they arise. So let us start. First of all, we have to answer one question. Why? Why for what? Here, why is for the characteristics. Why always the kitten will be similar to the cat? Or why always the puppy will be similar to the dogs or canines? So, the answer is heredity. How can we define heredity here? Heredity means transmission of characters or traits or features from one generation to another. That means characters are transferred from one generation, from parents to their progeny, and from their progeny to the upcoming generation. And likewise it will go on. Now let us try to understand the concept of heredity with the feature of hair. Here one flow chart is shown to you where total 3 generations are there. Here we can notice that there is a mother with curly hair and a father with silky or straight hair. These parents have 2 children, one son and one daughter. Daughter is having silky hair, but the son is having curly hair. So the feature of the mother of curly hair is transferred to whom? Son. That means it doesn't transfer to the daughter? No, it won't be like that. It is transferred, but in this generation or in that daughter, it was not expressed. Then that daughter got married to a man who was also having the silky or straight hair, and they had 3 children. two boys and a girl. So the feature of the curly hair from the grandmother got transferred to this granddaughter, and got expressed here. See, in the first generation it was not found, but in second generation it was found. Likewise, if he notice over here, so the boy got married to a girl who was also having curly hair. So both of these parents are having curly hair. But when they had children, one boy and one daughter. So at that time, that daughter was having silky hair. This feature was not there in their parents, but still it was found. So this kind of situations we have to understand that how exactly the features are getting transferred from one generation to another. Why only some of the features are getting expressed? Why not all? And all these answers we will get at the end of this chapter. So here in this example we have discussed about the characteristic of the curly hair. It was transferred from the parents to their progeny and to the next generation. This phenomenon of transferring character from parents to the progeny or from one generation to another is known as inheritance. So let us define the term inheritance now. Inheritance we can define as the transmission of the characteristics from one generation to the other generation. Only the question arises in our mind is how. How exactly the features or the characters get transferred from one generation to another? The answer to the question is that the characters or heredity information are transferred from one generation to the other generation during the process of reproduction. If you remember, in the previous chapter we have studied about the reproduction and its type. Now let's recollect our memories and we will discuss how exactly this information is being transferred from one generation to another. Reproduction is a process in which organisms produce another organisms or their young ones of their own kind. There are two types of the reproductions based on the number of parents involved in the process. If only one parent is involved in the process, then it is said as asexual reproduction. Whereas if there are two parents involved in the process, then it is said as sexual mode of reproduction. We have learned in the previous chapter that there are two parents, male as well as female, are involved in the process of sexual mode of reproduction. Both the parents are producing their gametes. Gametes are the reproductive cells which will carry the genetic information or hereditary information from parents to their progeny. So here the gamete formation takes place, whereas in asexual mode of reproduction, the gametes or reproductive cells are not formed. That is why the offspring or the progeny is identical to the parent. Identical means exact copy in terms of features or characteristics. If any errors during the DNA replication remains, then only the variations we will find in asexually reproducing organisms. Here, in the organisms which are producing via sexual mode, there the gametes of both the parents are fused and the characteristics of both the parents, mother as well as father, are going to get mixed. So the fetus or the infant, that is newborn baby, will be having mixture of the characteristics. It will not be identical to any particular parent. Rather, we will notice that there are mixture of the characteristics from both the parents in that progeny. Apart from gamete formation, the process of meiosis, that is the cell division process which is followed at the time of gamete formation, is also responsible to bring variations in the characteristics. Let us see how. One homologous pair of chromosomes we have taken. In human being, we have 23 pairs of chromosomes, and the chromosomes in the same pair denotes or define the same characteristics, and they are termed as homologous chromosomes. So, before they get separate from one another at the time of cell division, they are exchanging the material by the process of crossing over. Both the chromosomes will exchange the segments of the DNA or segments of the chromosomes with each other, and they will form new combinations of the chromosomes, or we can say new combinations of the genes, and then they get separated from one another and they go in different gametes. So the crossing over process which takes place at the time of meiosis is also responsible to bring variations in the same feature. Variations means in the same characteristic we will find differences. For example, height. So if we talk about height of all human beings, we will find that some of us are having very tall height, whereas some of us are having medium or short height. So the same feature or same character is there, but we find differences or variations in that particular character. Let us see how exactly the sexual mode of reproduction takes place. See, diagrammatically here we have shown that male and female produces their gametes. Male produces the sperm cell, female produces egg cell or ova. Then at the time of fertilization, the nucleus of both sperm as well as ovum get fused, and the resulting cell is the zygote. Zygote contains characters from both the parents. This zygote further divides and forms an embryo, and then that embryo develops into the fetus and delivered as a baby. So here in the organisms which are producing via sexual mode, the characters are get fused and new combinations of the characters or features get arise. This new combination of the characters or features are termed as variations. So, variations we can define as any differences in the traits between individuals of a species. So many examples we have discussed so far. Still, if you need anything else, we can discuss. We can discuss like dogs, right? All the dogs are having similar features, but if you will observe them carefully, you will find in the same features they show different variations. For example, color only we take. Some of them are white, some of them are black, right? So, variations means what? Differences in the trait between individuals of a species. Now let's see why these variations are arising. One reason already we have discussed, that reason was genetic. Genetic means which are inherent through the genes or chromosomes of the parents. So, such type of the variations are termed as germinal variations. What are germinal variations? The variations which are determined by the genes Then other type is because of the environment. See, there are so many type of climatic conditions which are responsible to bring in changes in the features of an individual. Adaptation you all are knowing, right? You people have studied it in your early classes. And to adapt to any particular environment, the organism is bringing the changes in itself. So such type of the variations are known as somatic variations. So now we will differentiate between both the types: germinal variations which are determined by genes, or somatic variations which are determined by the environment or the climatic conditions. Germinal variations are caused by differences in the numbers or structure of chromosome or gene. Change in the number of chromosomes or structure of chromosome. If you remember, just now we have discussed about the crossing over process, right? There the chromosomes were exchanging the segments of the DNA or segments of the genes with each other, and because of the numbers of the genes will get vary in that chromosome, and that will bring variation. Opposite to that, the environmental factors which bring variations in an organism or interaction with other organisms will bring variations. Such variations are called as somatic variations. Climatic conditions like temperature, rainfall, right? These all are going to affect to the features or characters of an individual, and these are termed as somatic variations. Now, this is the obvious thing that the genetic variations or germinal variations are determined by genes. So they are going to get inherent from parents to the progeny. That is why they are heritable. But somatic variations are not heritable. For example, now you got the visa and you are shifting to Canada. There too much of cold is there. So initially you will find difficulty in surviving that environment, but later on you will get adapt to that environment, right? So this feature is not determined by your genes. It is determined with your interaction with your surroundings, and that is why that feature is not going to get inherent. Another example also, if you want to discuss, we can take of riding a bicycle, riding a car, driving a car. So such features are not get inherent. If your father knows how to drive a car, it doesn't mean that by birth you will be knowing the same function. Or if your parents are aware of so many languages, right? So that doesn't mean that the child will also be knowing that many languages by birth. Child needs to learn, means he or she needs to interact with the environment, and those interaction with the environments are not genetically determined, so are not heritable. Next is the germinal variations play an important role in organic evolution. See, these variations are going to get accumulated over generations, right? From parents to the progeny, progeny to their next generation. Likewise, the same features or the genes of that feature is going to get accumulated, and over a period of time this will bring variations. So this will lead to organic evolution. But here the somatic variations are not genetically determined, so they are not playing any role in evolution. Now let us discuss the variations based on their uses or utility. Now let us discuss the types of variations based on utility. Utility means usefulness. Based on the usefulness, we can classify the variations into three types: useful variations, harmful variations, and neutral variations. Useful variations are those which provide advantage to an individual to survive. For example, there is a colony of bacteria. Now, these bacteria are living at one particular temperature. All of a sudden, the climatic conditions got changed and the temperature of that area got increased. So, the bacteria which could survive with the changing environment or with the higher temperature could survive and transmit their characters from parents to the next generation. But those bacteria which were unable to survive in that changing environment will die. So here the feature of tolerance to the temperature was useful as well as harmful. Useful for those who could survive and harmful for those who couldn't survive that environmental conditions. Clear? I hope it is clear to you now what is meant by useful variation and what is meant by harmful variation. Useful will provide advantage to individual to survive and help in evolution and artificial selection. Means over the period of time that feature of heat tolerance is going to get inherent, and then that feature will continue over generations. So it will help in the evolution and artificial selection. Artificial selection means because of this feature only this bacteria were selected to survive. If that feature was not there in them, then they would have extinct from the earth. Clear? Now neutral. Neutral variations may or may not take part in the survival of organism. Okay, here we were discussing about heat tolerance, right? But another variation is there, like color of that bacteria got changed. Now that is not related to the heat. So because of change in the color, it was not determining the survival. It was not questioning the survival of that bacteria. So such type of the features are termed as neutral. Clear? So based on utility or usefulness, the variations we have classified into three types: useful, harmful, and neutral. Now let us discuss why these variations get accumulated over generations into any individual. The main aspect of accumulation of the variations are for inheritance of the basic body structure. As we have discussed earlier also, that the organisms of the same species are having similar characteristics. We have discussed with the example of human being that all the human beings are having 2 legs, 2 hands, nose, ears, eyes, etc. So these features are going to remain common amongst them. So that is our basic body structure. So for inheritance of the basic body structure, accumulation is required. Have you ever wondered that why from an egg of a hen the pigeon will not come out? It will never come out. We all are knowing. Even we know the reason now, that the genes which are inherent from the parents are going to carry that information of the basic body design, so that never the egg of a hen will hatch into pigeon. Clear? Another aspect of inheritance of variation that enable them for the better adaptation. The term adaptation means what? Adaptation means adjusting to the changing environment of our surroundings. You people have already studied about adaptation in your early classes, right? So we are not going in that details, but here we will discuss the same example which we have discussed just now. Heat tolerance capacity. So heat tolerance capacity of certain bacteria enable them to survive. They got adapted to the changing environment so that they could survive. And those features of heat tolerance got chance to transfer from one generation to another generation. So these are two main aspects of accumulation of variations. So this was all about variations and their types. Now read the chapter thoroughly. In the upcoming video, we are going to discuss about the laws of inheritance proposed by Mendel and his contribution in genetics. Till that, take care of your health and learn.